by inviting 3 students who will give us some testimonials so far on what they think about this journey. We have a judge in the house. Victoria, last year you told me you're garnering for that position. I don't know whether it's still the same. Come tell us more.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victoria Nyawira, and I believe that anything is possible when you want to do it, that is. Today is a beautiful day, and I'm in the highest of spirits, not because I had a perfect morning, but because I have the power to make it perfect. Looking back at the journey in M-Pesa Foundation, I am awed. I can do it. I will do it. I did it. A saying that motivated me into what I am today. Victoria, the stage is a golden place. The stage is your crown. You can wear it like a queen, or you can choose to let someone else do it. The journey at M-Pesa Foundation has been particularly interesting, not because it has been the best. Yes, there have been bumps and potholes, but the journey had to continue. The journey at M-Pesa Foundation Academy has molded me into a person I thought that I would never become. Looking back, I had my future set. I had never thought of M-Pesa Foundation Academy. I just wanted to do my KCSE in a normal school, pass my examinations, hustle for a university, and get a job. That was the definition of life at the time. Surprisingly, ending up in M-Pesa Foundation Academy has molded me into an open-minded individual who considers other perspectives, knowing they can also be right. The holistic approach, the facilities are top-notch, starting from sports, where we also take talent into consideration, believing that anything that you can do will lead you to a certain place. Looking at the curriculum, which is the best part of it all, the holistic approaches and the multicultural awareness and the diversity, it's simply beautiful. Not because it is in the eyes of the beholder, but because you can be able to tell. Speaking in front of people has become something that I never thought I would achieve. It's something like a functional organ in my system, not because I built it, but the courage to do it came from the school. I'm simply happy because when you want to do something, you will do it. When you don't want to do it, you will create an excuse. Working behind the scenes is the easiest, people think, but without perfection behind the scenes, then the whole show is ruined. NCBA, the bank, in front of people, a family according to me. This is because of their meticulous efforts that will definitely not go unrepaid. Thank you so much, and a whole lot of gratitude goes to you, NCBA. Once people learn that lending a helping hand to someone might not change the whole world, but it will change the whole world for one person, then we will be able to achieve change. I am glad that someone is finally initiating this action that we keep talking of. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot put it out, which is quite interesting because the light can put darkness out. I am not a symbol of perfection, but I believe that imperfection makes the perfection. Thank you.
Wow, the confidence, the courage, the eloquence, all in one. Fantastic. Since 2008, NCBA has collaborated with SOS Kenya to inspire greatness in the lives of 9 students at the house number 10 in SOS Kisumu Village. Allow me to welcome a young gentleman, Wilson Mutiga from SOS, who is currently a second-year student at the dental school, University of Nairobi. Wilson had an interest in aviation, so he needs to explain to us how he ended up where he ended up. Very interesting conversations with this young man. He loves football. I think he plays for the football team at SOS, and he's also a coach. Karibu Sana Wilson, tell us a little bit about yourself. He keeps telling me he will be an employer. He wants NCBA to fund his venture into dentistry and, you know, influence and pay forward. Wilson, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Wilson Mutiga. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, my name is Wilson Mutiga. I'm a student at the University of Nairobi undertaking a bachelor's degree in dental surgery. I'm in third year. Yeah, first and foremost, I would like to thank SOS for sponsoring me, and I speak for all the children when I say that. Secondly, I would like to thank NCBA. It's through your efforts, your grace, and your kindness, and others like you, that the SOS child is able to eat well, dress well, and have quality education. We pray for you guys. We wish you all the best. We wish the bank all the best. We didn't know you had other Nini, but we suspected. You had other sponsorship programs, but we suspected. This is really nice. As Victoria said, a lending hand goes a long way to building a nation, the whole world. We thank you, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wilson. Sharon Wamuyu is studying for sign language. He wanted to say something. Sharon, where are you? I'm curious to understand why sign language and why that is very important. She's very, very close to Dr. Chowski's heart. Welcome, Sharon.
Good morning. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Sharon Wamuyu, and my presentation mainly based on sign language. So yeah, let me start. So what basically I said is that my name is Sharon Wamuyu. I'm one of the success stories of Dr. Chowski Albinism Foundation. I've been a beneficiary for quite a long time, and I've seen very major effects, positive effects from the foundation in terms of education, in terms of photochromatic glasses. So a life of an albinism child is not quite easy, especially without the glasses. So that's where the foundation came in, by giving them glasses. Personally, my story was kind of hard because I'm very, very, very short-sighted. I'm a case of a very, very short-sighted, severe myopia. So By the help of the glasses given to me by Dr. Choksi, I was able to find my education very easy, because most of the times some teachers were not very understanding, but with the help of the glasses, it was made easier. Sometimes it's usually hard for a person with albinism who doesn't have glasses to socialize with friends, to go out, because some of them, they have this fear in them. But after you've been given the glasses, it's like you've been given another person in you. Confidence becomes a new story to you. So on behalf of all the beneficiaries of the foundation, I'd like to say thank you very much to the foundation, and also to NCBA Bank for partnering with the foundation and making the life of children living with albinism very nice. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That was a special request and we could not say no, and now you know why. Finally, we have the privilege of hearing from Goldalyn Kakuya. I'm sure you all remember Goldalyn. She made history as the highest scoring student in the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education exam in 2017. Goldalyn, who's living with albinism, was the first girl to achieve the highest marks in KCPE to date. Goldalyn does that? It does, right? Good. She recently completed her studies at Brookhouse School, where she graduated from Form 6. She's passionate about healthcare and aims to pursue a career in medicine in the near future. So Africa's children. Goldalyn, the floor is yours.
Good morning. It's a lovely sunny day. We've had many of those in the last couple of weeks. My name is Goldalyn Kakuya, and I'm a beneficiary of the Dr. Choksi Albinism Foundation. I first met Dr. Choksi in 2015. 2015? Yes, I first met her in 2015. I was in class 6 at the time, and unlike how late I was today, Dr. Choksi's foundation and NCBA through the foundation were on time to help me at the point where I was in my education. I remember at the time we as a family were going through financial constraint, and the help that we got from Dr. Choksi, the foundation, went a long way in ensuring that I achieved the success that I did. Yes, I'm going to tell you a story about my educational journey and how NCBA, as one of the Dr. Choksi Albinism Foundation partners, have been a huge part of this story. So when I met Dr. Choksi in 2015, I was shocked that someone would be so willing and have such a huge heart for people like us, people with albinism. The people that I knew who held so much space for me as a person with albinism was my family. They were always there, very supportive. And so finding someone outside of that family who was just as supportive was really a new experience, because from that time, Dr. Choksi became like my second mom. I remember in school, before I met her, I used to be so scared to raise like my concerns in terms of the fact that I was short-sighted and I couldn't see the board clearly. So a lot of times I would just sit in class and then write notes after. And even though the school that I was in was very accommodating, I had my peers, the peers around me, I didn't want to feel left out, or I didn't want to feel like I was the odd one out, because I had to move so close to the board to see. But upon meeting Dr. Choksi, it became easier for me to raise my hand and ask a teacher to write maybe in a larger font, or to sit at the front. Because from class 6, I was at the front of the class. See how this stage is set up? This is where my desk was always, or somewhere around here, always. And I think I drew that confidence from the fact that there is someone out here who is championing for people like us. There is someone out here who is giving us the gift of sight and the gift of education. And I think that is what has made a huge part of my success. And so I would proudly say that I do owe my success to Dr. Choksi Albinism Foundation and NCBA in association. And so I would like to thank Dr. Choksi and NCBA, because without them, the 455 record would not have been set by me. Yes. I have been on a gap year. I finished school in June last year. I took a break from school, and I'll be joining university very, very soon. And I'm really glad that I have a lot more time to be part of this organization and play my part and reach out to more people with albinism and mentor these young kids. And I'm sure that with the fact that NCBA is still in support of Dr. Choksi Albinism Foundation, I will be able to keep meeting many young girls who are made for success. And that is going to come true because of what NCBA is doing with Dr. Choksi. Thank you.
Wow. If that is not inspiring greatness, I don't know what that is. But from the stories here, we are very clear that collaboration goes a long way in scaling the impact. So to the partners, we couldn't thank you more. We can't do everything alone, and it's because of your existence, your networks, your expertise that we are then able to come together and bring these dreams to life. I'd like to call Mr. Eric Kimani, the CEO of Palm House Foundation, one of the partners, to say something. Karibu.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a hard act to follow after those young people. Then you got this older face. But I will try and say something that is of value. First of all, thank you for having us. I speak on behalf of the partners. But allow me first to recognize the presence of my co-founder and wife, Margaret. If you would raise your hand, that's my wife and co-founder of the Palm House Foundation. Allow me also to thank, not because he's the chairman of the group of NCBA, but James Degwa has worked with the Palm House Foundation in his individual capacity. I've seen him on many mentoring sessions. I want to thank you singularly for that, even as I recognize NCBA. I was thinking what to say to you, and this morning I gave a lift to a young Victor Kenyanjui who scored 386 marks to go to high school, and I asked him about his family. And I asked him, he told me he's the fourth born of a family of 6. So I asked him, what do the other 4 do? He told me they do manual labor. So I asked them, didn't they go to high school? He said, no. I asked him, why? Oh, my sister had 360 points in 2014, but couldn't go to high school. And she's at home, she has a baby. And I began thinking what NCBA and all of us sitting here do to lives. Because this boy would have turned out, and I told him, if your sister wants to go to school at the age of 23, go and bring her to me. I'll take her to school. We were taking a minimum of 360 points this year. If she was there, we would have picked her. NCBA has helped alongside others, the Palm House Foundation and the many other partners here, take all these young people through school. I know the founders, Dr. Chosky, I've seen her here every year. I know the founder of EduMed. I know the founder of Daraja. I worked with SOS in the years gone. And what you have made possible as NCBA is the synergy of 1 + 1 = 5 or greater. You have acknowledged the fact that we, as the founders and as the drivers of these institutions, bring you our dreams and our visions, but we do not have the money to do the work. So you have said, we'll bring the money, you bring your visions, you bring your dreams, and therefore you have given us a very low cost, high value partnership. You've gotten our passion at low cost, we've gotten your money at low cost. We both deliver impact and value to community and to the world for mutual benefit, Our strategic and shared goals align, and as long as they do, we wish to continue working together, continue leveraging our dreams, Dr. Chosky's, EduMed, Daraja, and SOS and Palm House. We will continue to give you the minimum costs of doing this, and we will collaborate to ensure that it is done. Thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the money. Thank you for coming for the mentoring, those of you who are able to come and do the mentoring where we do this. We look forward to a greater, a deeper and wider, bigger, bolder and better partnership into the future with NCBA. On behalf of all the partners, I stand to say thank you and thank you and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kimani. It's now my honor and privilege to invite our host, NCBA Group Managing Director, Mr. John Gashora.
Thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everyone. As you heard, I am acting host today. So mine is to really welcome you to NCBA. Great to see you, all our friends. Great to see you, the young students and upcoming students in the room. I was just reflecting on my journey and thinking just the other day I was exactly where you are. But as you have heard from the speakers before me, the future is bright. I just picked a few commentaries from the people who spoke before us and the learnings that they impact on us. I thought, Victoria, your comment about doing something to somebody may not change the whole world, but it will change the whole world for one person. So that was a very impactful comment. We also, on a lending hand, goes the whole way to building a nation. Sharon, any help you can give to build confidence creates a new person. And of course, Gordalin, you may not remember me, but we took many pictures when you scored the 455. So well done. Stories like that of Gordalin can be made possible if we continue to inspire greatness. It's really a great honor for us as NCBA, as Mr. Kimani has said, to partner with all of you to deliver impact and value to the world. Education for us is not about giving. Education is about investing. I don't believe there is any bigger investment anybody can make beyond education. You know, sometimes when my friends, we're teasing each other, we say, okay, we keep criticizing the president. What do you do? What would you do if you became president? And I always tell them, I would invest in education. Because through education, an educated person in Kakuma knows where to find healthcare. An educated person in Mandera knows who to call when there's an emergency. So those small things that matter a great deal. An educated person who has a kid that they cannot take to school knows how to call Palm House, how to call Edument Trust, how to call Daraja, how to call someone else. That is how important education is. But today, ours is to celebrate, continuing to work with you as our partners to make this investment. And today I want to invite a man to whom giving comes naturally, a man who has been a big supporter of the organization and encouraging the organization to give, and who makes sure that every year when we present the budget to the board, there's a budget for giving and for supporting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my group chairman, Mr. James Dagwa.
Okay, thank you, John. So, John is, of course, a multi-talented individual, and that includes delegating upstairs. So I have the honor of reading the official remarks, but which I've modified slightly. But Mr. Paul Kibet, Director of Secondary Education, Minister of Education, who is representing the CS. Jacqueline Onyango, Senior Deputy Director, Basic Education at KICD. Our Group MD, John Gashora, our partners present, colleagues from NCBA, members of the press, and our real VIP guests, the students. Good morning, everyone. So it gives me great pleasure to add to the welcome to all of you here to NCBA House, and to thank you for honoring us with your presence and participation as we strive to shine a spotlight on some deserving students and their achievements. Chapter 4, that's the Bill of Rights, Article 43, subsection 1F of the 2010 Constitution, provides that every Kenyan citizen is entitled to, among other rights and freedoms, the right to education. Now, the Kenya Constitution is one of the most progressive in the world, and I have no doubt that all of us here intellectually embrace the importance of the right to education. That being undisputed, like other noble aspirations in our Constitution, dare I mention gender parity, perhaps a topic for another day, the challenge we must confront is that of practical implementation. A declaration, a statement, a provision for a right to education does not in itself provide the means. Now, I want to acknowledge today that the government, both the national government and at county level, churches, other religious organizations, and other bodies, including the private sector, play an enormous part, especially in establishing and maintaining education institutions and facilities. And we commend this wholeheartedly. However, school fees have been found to be a significant barrier to attaining and sustaining educational enrollment, with poorer parents feeling deterred in sending their children to school. Now, I had various statistics. I don't know whether they're true, but the numbers are staggering, and hopefully, maybe our colleagues from the ministry will put us right. But I understand that maybe 1.8 million Kenyan children of school-going age are not in school. There's also apparently quite a high primary school dropout rate, while the transition rate from primary to secondary is a challenge we're all aware of. And indeed, the media did a very good job just a couple of weeks ago of highlighting this. There are some very heartbreaking cases. So the challenge is there, and that we know. And we therefore believe that education sponsorship is vital to providing access to education, particularly for children from disadvantaged backgrounds, equipping them with the knowledge and skills necessary for sustainable progress and behavior. As you have heard, at NCBA, we are in the business of inspiring dreams and assisting people to realize their aspirations. As a responsible business, we understand and embrace the importance of sustainable development, and as a patriotic and committed corporate citizen, we are acutely aware that there are those in our community who are in need of support of others who are more fortunate than they are. It is our conviction at NCBA that there can be few more fundamental foundations or pillars, for that matter, of sustainable development and community transformation than the provision of access to education for all children. As you have heard, our sustainability initiatives work through providing children with access to education through strategic partnerships with like-minded organizations and those that share our values. At this point, I wish to recognize, although they have already been recognized, and express our sincere gratitude to our 6 long-term partners who are with us here today. We have the Palm House Foundation, we have EduMed Trust, we have M-Pesa Foundation Academy, Dr. Chosky Albinism Foundation, SOS Children Villages, and the Raja Kenya Initiative. Thank you very much, all of you. Our scholarship program is part of our education pillar and focuses on supporting initiatives that aim to enhance access to and the quality of education for academically talented but financially underprivileged children. This is achieved through financial contributions and mentorship provided on an annual basis. And our guest of honor allow me to make a mention at this point of that the mentorship program is just as important as the financial support. The mentorship plays an enormous part in shaping children into young adults with the values, the ethics, and the attitudes that will then drive and sustain them in their personal and professional life after they complete formal education. Some of the NCBA mentors are here with us today, and I wish to appreciate you also for your work in preparing these children to be the well-rounded adult citizens of tomorrow that we can all be proud of, as attorneys are now. Currently, NCBA has enrolled over 300 students in various primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. Our scholarship covers tuition fees, textbooks, uniforms, dormitory supplies, and other related issues. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored to announce our 2023 sponsorship of 100 students with an investment of 11.14 million shillings. Now, over the years, our scholarship program has produced remarkable success stories, and I was given 3 to cite, but we've heard them from themselves today. We've heard from Godalyn Kakuya, who has done extremely well at KCPE, as we know, that's a record, but also I understand she got 8 A stars and further 2 A's in her IGCSEs, so well done to you. Another one was Wilson Mutiga. We heard from him. He corrected us. He's a 3rd-year student doing dentistry at the University of Nairobi. And the 3rd one I have here is Mary Mugure. She also has an inspiring story. As a beneficiary of the Palm House Foundation, she was able to attend St. Anne's Leoki High School from 2008 to 2011. And after completing high school, she went on to pursue a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery at Kenyatta University, graduated in 2019, and today is a doctor at AIC Kijabe Hospital. And I'm sure she's making a huge difference in the lives of her patients and contributing to the profession and, of course, the wider community. Now, distinguished guests, let's go back to a moment to that issue of gender parity. You'll have noted that 2 of the 3 examples I was given to relate in my remarks are those of young ladies. This might be a coincidence, and no doubt we have other young boys who have done well. But to my mind, it is clear that providing education equally to both genders, these issues will solve themselves naturally. In the years to come, the pool of talented, educated women will be so strong that there will be no need to prescribe ratios. Women alongside men will be elected to offices, recruited to positions, etc., purely on the basis of the best person for the job. All these students, both boys and girls, and their rewarding performance are a testament to the impact that our education and mentorship initiatives are having in the lives of young Kenyans and in unlocking their full potential. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of believing in ourselves and our abilities, and in working hard to make our dreams a reality. And as we say at NCBA, I urge all of you, go for it, make us proud, and God bless you. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. James Ndegwa, our group chairman. May I now call Ms. Jacqueline Onyango, the Senior Deputy Director, Curriculum Education at KICD, to give us her remarks.
Thank you very much. Mr. Paul Kibet, Director Secondary Education, Ministry of Education, who is representing our Cabinet Secretary. Mr. James Ndegwa, the Chairman of NCBA Group. Mr. John Gashora, Group MD, NCBA. The partners who are present, the NCBA team, members of the press, and the reason why we are here, our students. Good morning. I feel proud standing here and listening to the young people speak. And this is because I'm a teacher by profession. And so by extension, I'm telling myself, a teacher did it. I did it. I speak here on behalf of our CEO, Professor Charles Ongondo, who was not able to join you, but asked me to step in for him. And as KICD, we are privileged by the Ministry of Education having given us a mandate to prepare what our learners do in school. And so when I see eloquent learners, then we are saying part of the curriculum that we have presented, particularly in English, has been accomplished because our children can communicate extremely well. But going beyond that, all of us seek education, and it's time immemorial. Whether it was our traditional education, now the conventional education, it means that education adds value. You must be able to learn something wherever you are to navigate within your life. And so even as we are changing the curriculum, we have what we are calling the competency-based curriculum. We must rest assured that the knowledge-based curriculum is not a bad curriculum. However, times bring changes. And so the changes we are saying we need to have is to ensure that the children can do something. I love what the students have said, that if they have the will to do it, then they will do it. So we must facilitate them to be able to do what it is they want to do. So as a curriculum center, we have provided many opportunities. I love the young lady who was doing sign language. I think all of us were amazed. Did you understand anything? We didn't. But she was able to, after speaking to us in sign language, give us a brief of what it is she was telling us, isn't it? And you rested a little comfortably because now you said, I have understood. Otherwise, earlier on, you could have closed your eyes and missed nothing. But what have we done? There is an opportunity in the curriculum that we had just rolling out. We are saying beyond the learners who have to use sign language as their tool of communication, we also have a responsibility. We can learn sign language. And so we have actually provided sign language in the curriculum for our children now from pre-primary, so that any child who may not be a child with a hearing disability can actually learn sign language, so that we can be able to communicate with them. We are providing these opportunities because we have diverse abilities, we have diverse interests, and it's not just about academics. How do we relate? One of the young ladies also indicated that she would like to play her part. What is that bringing to us? It is a deep-rooted value system. So the partners who've been supporting the children, NCBA team, what you have done is to embed in these children the understanding that I am because we are, I am because somebody sees that I can be, but most of all, you have embedded in them the fact that if I am, then I can also make somebody else be. And that is what we need. So again, we have embedded values in our curriculum. There is no corporate that does not have values. There is no government entity that does not have values. But what you're doing is actually practically enabling our youngsters and ourselves to remind ourselves that this is what we can do. And so, as I complete my speech, what is it that we can do to make all of us be aware of such initiatives? And of course, I'm speaking so that we can see NCBA, where can we partner? We are privileged again, the ministry has facilitated us. We have an edu channel, a TV channel, which is a 24/7 channel like every other business entity, and we run educational programs. I want to believe that such inspirational stories aired on our edu channel is an opportunity to raise all of us, not just the children. Indeed, we have been guided that an educated person will seek that help, isn't it? And educated doesn't mean that the person has gone to school, but the person has information. And so KICD is a repository of educational information. We broadcast our programs on KBC, the TV. We have our own TV channel, but we also have programs on KBC, on radio and TV as well. And these programs are further recorded, and we have an edu channel, not an edu channel, but an education cloud, where we are able to upload whether they are books that we have, which we are working with publishers, programs that can be downloaded freely as long as you can access the website. And I think this would be a great story. I am praying that those of us who have been here, I think I've been inspired. And I'm asking myself, so what role am I going to play? Not just coming to see what NCBA is doing, not just indicating that KICD could be able to pick this as an entity, but I think each one of us, wherever we are, and every single morning we wake up, we know we can identify a child or a family that is in need. What is it that we can do? So thank you very much for what you're doing. I look forward to us partnering, and you can rest assured that we may be in your offices next week. And this is because this is my docket. And so if we are talking of these programs being done, we'll be the ones arriving with a proposal. So please open your doors for us so that we can be able to air this to other people. Sometimes it looks like it's not true, but when the children themselves are able to speak and they can be traced to where they are, I think it's an inspiration to all of us. So I want to wish you well. Please continue what you're doing. It's a wonderful thing, and we hope that we'll be part of the system as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those remarks, Ms. Nyango. I want to now take this opportunity to invite our chief guest, the Director of Secretary Education, Ministry of Education, Mr. Paul Kibet, representing the CS for Education. Welcome, Mr. Kibet.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. There's too much echo, maybe the sound system. Before I make or read a speech by the Cabinet Secretary, allow me, because of where I am as the Director of Secondary Education, just a few things. One is that I'm very happy with the partnership that the Ministry of Education has with the NCBA, and having students benefiting from quality education, access to education, is one of those things that are satisfying and gratifying. When we are able to change the life of an individual at that stage in life, it means a lot. It means that the foundation of our nation or the future of our nation is secured. The Ministry of Education is rolling out the 6th cohort of 100% transition. And the 100% transition has been something that is transformative. I would want to say that we have interacted with colleagues from outside Kenya, and they get amazed how we are able to do it as a nation, that all our students are able to transit. Before the advent of 100% transition, what we used to do as Directorate of Secondary Education during Form 1 selection is that we would place all the kids that we can place, and then we leave the others to take care of themselves. And we say that was very irresponsible. So on average, there was wastage of more than 200 learners that we could not account for. And that is why the President, in his wisdom, said that all children must transit from primary to secondary. And we were given an added responsibility. And that is why we say that let everybody go to school. We sort out the deficit in the infrastructure, the needs in schools, when everybody is there. And that reminded me that one time somebody said, and I read in a book, I can't remember the book, that money flows to where there are needs. Money flows to where there are needs. If you want money to come your way, you create a need. And I remembered when I was young, and I would tell my parents, I'm going to work first, I will not get married until I have made enough money. And after 3 years, I realized I was not making any money, and time was going. The biological clock was ticking, and therefore I decided to get married. And the rest is history. Later on, we wanted to build a house, and so we said we will not build a house until we save all the money. And we realized that the needs that we have were always equivalent to the money that was available, and therefore we were never saving money for a house until we decided that first we are going to buy a plot, and then that plot would demand for stones, and every month we would set aside some few coins, take a lorry of sand, take a lorry of stones, and so forth. The story that I'm putting up, it may look that is a family issue, but as a nation, we create a need for 100% transition, and therefore we're able to attract money to ourselves as a Ministry of Education. All the partners started coming in now because there were so many students that required to be assisted. And that is now why Wings to Fly started coming in, and all the scholarships started, NCBA, and many other financial institutions started coming in to help because we created a need. So do you believe now that money flows to where there are needs? And therefore we should not complain that we have many students in our schools, because that is a need. So we create something that is going to force us to budget for it. That is the beauty of 100% transition, that we can account for all our learners from primary to secondary. And I will tell you, it's amazing. that when we interact with people from outside our nation, the other day there is a country that visited us to come and learn how we do it. And so one of our questions we asked them is that, what is your transition rate? And they told us that 7%. I told you, you people should be in jail. You cannot say that 7% of those who transit from primary to secondary. So you cannot account for 63% of the learners. And I'm sure something is happening in that country. So we are a pace setter as a nation in terms of education reforms. Even with the challenges that we have, I would tell you that this is still the best country. We are doing our level best. Even with the rolling out of the new curriculum, I would tell you in the next 10 years, we will all be happy that we did it as a nation. So we may have teething problems here and there, but the end game that we are looking at is that all our learners would be equipped with sufficient competencies that will be able to survive on their own. So during our discussion with Mr. Kashora and Mr. Ndegwa, of course, issues that were raised, particularly by those of us who are supporting the learners in school about illegal levies and all that. We are addressing that issue because technically we are saying that any illegal levy, as the term says, it's an illegality in itself and should not be paid. And any extra coin that has to be paid must have been sanctioned by the Cabinet Secretary. So some of those issues are being addressed. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the Director Secretary who was speaking. Allow me now to welcome the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, to talk to us. The NCBA Group Chair, Mr. James Ndegwa, the NCBA Group Managing Director, Mr. John Kashora, the Chief Executive Officer of KICD, represented by my colleague, Jacqueline, staff of NCBA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Please greet the Cabinet Secretary properly. I'm honored to join you today for this event, and I thank the leadership of NCBA for inviting me to attend to this function or this event as a chief guest. Today's event is a demonstration of an important role that the private sector continues to play in ensuring that we have quality education by all Kenyans, regardless of the economic background. I want to commend NCBA for this noble initiative that continues to enable many needy children or deserving learners to access education. Good education, that is, in transforming the lives of individuals in our society. It's also a key pillar for the realization of our national development goals. Therefore, this noble initiative by NCBA goes beyond the individual beneficiary of the program, that is to the country. It's also an investment into the future of our country. As we are all aware, access to education in Kenya has been a challenge for many years. The shortage of resources and the facilities, and in particular in our rural areas, has made it difficult for students to receive quality education. Additionally, poverty and other socioeconomic factors have made it difficult, sometimes impossible, for some of the students to continue with their studies. Therefore, it is heartening and encouraging to see the private sector or private enterprises like NCBA stepping up to help and to support our students. The government has made education a top priority, and the country has made great strides towards achieving the universal access to primary education. As you are aware, The government's policy now is geared towards the attainment of 100% transition across the various levels of basic education. The introduction of free primary education in the year 2003 resulted in a substantial number or increase in school enrollment, with more students attending primary school than ever before. The government continues to provide capitation for free primary education and free secondary education. Kenya's education sector has experienced a rapid improvement through a series of ambitious reforms aimed at enhancing quality education. These reforms include the introduction of the competency-based curriculum, teacher professional development, textbook policies, and improvement of management practices at the local level. As a result of all these efforts, Kenya has become a top performer in education in Eastern and Southern Africa, according to the Kenya Economic Update edition 25. That is aiming high, securing education to sustain recovery. That's in that report. Despite the significant progress made in improving access to education, there are still significant challenges to be addressed in terms of ensuring quality education and addressing disparities. For instance, funding in support still required for the needy students, especially at the secondary level. The initiatives such as this that we are witnessing today by NCBA are invaluable in this regard. The government is keen to continue collaborating with the private sector and other stakeholders to invest in education and to ensure that all our children in Kenya have access to quality education and opportunity to realize their full potential. As I conclude, I would like to congratulate the recipients of these NCBA scholarships. This award not only acknowledges acknowledges your academic accomplishment, but also highlights your resilience and determination. It also challenges you to sustain and improve on your excellent performance and achievements. You are the future leaders of our nation, and we firmly believe that with this right education support, you can make it to remarkable heights. Your success is a source of inspiration, not only to you, not only to your parents, but also it gives you an opportunity to seize on every available chance ahead of you. It also gives you an opportunity to dream and to work hard. Once again, I want to take this opportunity to laud NCBA for inspiring greatness in the lives of Kenya's future leaders. I encourage other like-minded organizations to join us in building the future of our human capital of our country and indeed this region. Thank you very much, and best wishes to all the beneficiaries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kibet. And thanks to all the speakers. We'll now be moving to the next part of the program. We will now do the official check handover. As we prepare to do that, I do hope that you've all picked some nuggets of wisdom from what all the speakers have said today, and that you'll be inspired in one way or another to do whatever it is you can in your space and influence, whether it's through mentorship, whether it's through, supporting that child next door. Let us hope you've picked something. So we will now go to the official check handover. May I call to the stage our Group Managing Director, Mr. John Gashora, and our Group Director Marketing, Ms. Nelly Wainaina. And they will be joined by Daraja Kenya Initiative, Victoria Gishui, the Executive Director, to receive the check. If we can have 2 students from the organization to join in the picture, please. So Daraja Initiative, and Mr. Gashora will sign the check and confirm that you can go and withdraw it. His signature, you know, is like a must. Yeah, that is the official. So that is Daraja Kenya Initiative, Victoria Gishui, joined by students, and our group managing director, and our group marketing director. Mr. Gashora signs the check. It's a done deal. Well done, thank you. Mr. Gashora and Nelly, please stay on stage. Edument Trust, Charles Njoroge, if you could please join. If we have students to also join in and receive the signed check. So that goes to Edumed Trust, the Trust Secretary and CEO, Charles Njoroge, joined by the future. The future is looking bright. Thank you very much. So this one seems to be coming out of the marketing budget. Nelly is signing it off. Thank you very much. It's a done deal. Edument Trust. Fantastic. Nelly, I'll ask you to take a seat. May I then ask Madam Jacqueline to join in the next presentation, still with Mr. Gashora. Palm House Foundation Chairman Eric Kimani and CEO, joined by Margaret Munene and 2 students. Palm House Foundation. Any students? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. You know it's a big one when Mr. Gashora is the one holding the pen. Thank you very much. To the student, make the most of the opportunities presented to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gashora. I'll ask, thank you very much. Edwin, are we done with the pictures? I will then ask SOS Children Kenya Village Home National Director, Walter Odhiambo, to come on stage. Again, supported by Jacqueline, Mrs. Jacqueline Onyango from Kenya Institute. Can we have the children from SOS join? Wilson, join in the picture, please. SOS Kenya Villages presentation. Thank you so much. This will also be signed by Mr. Gashora. Thank you, SOS. It's a done deal, Wilson. Change the narrative, mentor the others, be the influence and inspire. Thank you very much. We will now call on stage, Jacqueline, you may take the seat. Thank you very much. Our group chairman, Mr. James Ndegwa, please come on stage. Dr. Chosky, if you could please join GMD and yeah. Okay, Dr. Chosky's babies. You know she will not move until you come, eh? Yay, if you know you call her mommy, make your way. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Are you happy that you'll now go to school? Yes? Are you happy? Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go to the other side. Yeah. Yes, move to the other side. That goes to Dr. Choksi Albinism Foundation. Thank you very much. Mr. Gashora, are we going to sign it off? Thank you. Children, happiness, clap. Yay, you've got it. Thank you very much. We will now be joined by M-Pesa Foundation Academy, represented by the Director of Student Life, Beatrice Bwali. Mr. Chair, please stay on stage for this one. Thank you very much. M-Pesa Foundation, our judge in the making, representing. Thank you very much. So, M-Pesa Foundation, yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. We may now sign the check. Yes. Thank you so much. I will now request all the 6 partners to join our group chairman for the overall M-Pesa Foundation. You can stay as a partner. So just the partners, all the 6 partners, please. All the 6 partners, Mr. James Ndegwa will. Chief guest is going to, yeah, and our chief guest. Yes, Mr. Kibet, our chairman, our group managing director, and KIC, yeah, you may also join, sorry. Okay. So Ministry of Education is represented. Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development is represented. All our partners are represented. Our group managing director is present, and our group chair is present, and the chairman signs off the big one. Thank you very much, Mr. Ndegwa. That is a done deal. Thank you all so much. Can you please stay there? And may I ask 2 students, the future, please come and represent. Just 2. Goldaline, if you could come. And another one. Yeah, just come through. This is for you, so you have to be present. Thank you. Can I have one more child? A boy child, please, representation. Chairman said equitability. Yeah. Can I have Enoch? Enoch? Is Enoch in the house? Enoch will not move until you join you're in demand. Enoch, you coming? Fantastic. This is representation. Enoch is in Mangu. Well done. Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the partners you see, the collaboration is what makes Africa, Kenya great. Together we achieve a lot, and together we put the future of our children at the core of everything that we do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. You may now take your seats, and as we do that, may I call Nelly? Thank you very much. You may take your seats. May I call our Group Director, Marketing, Communication, and Citizenship, Ms. Nelly Wainaina, to give us the vote of thanks, a token of appreciation.